Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the next episode of Hand of Fate Ordeals, where in the last episode we basically got the game started. We set up and played our first turn of the game, and everything went okay actually, because this is a blind playthrough. I haven't played it before, so I'm just starting to get used to it, but it is a deck builder, so there's a lot of things that are common amongst deck builders, and I'm not playing with a lot of the extra or added features like the dealer's board and quests for cooperative mode. In fact, I'm just playing a two-player game as if you would if you sat down to play a competitive game with your buddies. So that being said, I want to thank Dennis, one of my viewers, one of my long-term viewers, for pointing out that this card that I was questioning in the last episode was in fact a quest card, and it's tied to this quest here, with this number. But we are not using those in this game, so if I do run across them in the deck, I'm going to pull them out because we are not playing in the cooperative mode or the solo mode, which that's when those would take place. We're playing a standard two-player game. And with that said, I think we just get right into it. We've taken our first turn. We can take our next turns now, and we'll get right into the game. And we're going to start again with Estella. Just to catch up, we did draw her hand for her next round. She's got a bunch of strives and one forage. So this is going to be a pretty easy turn, right? So we're going to spend the forage for Estella to forge up dig up some more food for herself. And we got 4 points of things to spend. Now we could move and have an encounter. I'm really tempted to do that before we buy anything, because we have our weapons charged up. We got the shield breaker mace and a half card attached to it already. So we could just go check some things out. So let's check out the board and see what we're going to do. But before I forget, we have to do the fatigue phase. So before this happened, actually, we would have spent one of these to keep this card charged up. So we have 3 things to spend. I think that makes moving a little bit more appealing as well. So I think, let me think. We're going to explore. Yeah, we're definitely going to do that next. So going back to the board, I think what she'll do is she'll just explore right here. So she's going to move there. That will cost her one of her precious food resources, and we're going to encounter this card. Now remember, unless it says otherwise, we cannot encounter the card. We can just keep moving and avoid it. But let's see what we've ran into here. The Twisted Canyon. Now you can see that this is a level 1 by the dots. It's a location. It's a event. It says Twisted Canyon. Resolve 1 pain card to acquire 1 weapon card from the dealer's row. Well, she already has a weapon, so I don't think that we're going to do this for 2 or less, and there's only 1 weapon up there, and it does not cost 2. So let's take a look at this. We're going to then this can be used once. That's what this means. So we go back to the board. What we do is we're going to place that back right there. You can see there's a spot for a cube right there. We're going to place a cube. There's sometimes more as we visit these spaces, and it says that we can buy green, red, and so wanderer, soldier, and the event cards, the normal cards, right? So we can buy any of those with our 3 strive, or rather our 3 basic whatever you call it that we have, our points to spend. Yeah, so I think let's look at the row of cards that we have to purchase. She'll just stop there and buy some stuff. Oh, it's called effort. They're strive cards, but the actual thing that we expend is effort. And there's a couple things. There's only 2 things that she can buy right now. She can buy this hidden hand, which isn't bad. It doesn't give you this cost of trickster card. It says draw 1 card, then discard 1 card. If you play another trickster card this turn, you may destroy 1 card in an ally's discard pile. Well, that's interesting. I don't know if I like that. I don't think I'm going to be trying to kill myself with my other character. And then we got the Pathfinder's Knack. It can charge up a weapon for 1 strength. And it says at the end of the combat you may move to an adjacent counter. I think we'll take that. That's 2 of our 3. So, like any typical deck builder, we spent our cards. Now we have an extra card left over. We really can't do anything with it, so we're just going to get rid of it. And that's going to be our entire deck, because we have burned through our deck. So we're going to shuffle this deck up again and draw cards, because that's basically the end of her turn. So she moved over, she explored away from the town, found the Twisted Canyon, and question of the day, Pathfinder's Knack. Yeah, she was able to buy green Wanderer cards, so that's good. Okay. Just want to make sure, because there's only certain types of cards we can get. And let's see, we also have to go back to the board first and do this. You know what she could have done we got Hunt. What does it do? It says, oh, basically it's, oh wow, that's pretty good. It's better. It's like a Forge card, but it allows us to draw a card as well. We could have bought a Flourish card for 3 instead of just buying that card for 2, which would have given us 2 effort. Might do that next time. We'll see. Because, you know, when you draw cards in combat, you're going to draw certain cards in combat. Like her mace allows her to draw 2 cards to exert for battle. So we got to remember that as well. But let's go draw up her hand and move on to then Col Beorn's turn. So I did shuffle, but we'll just do 1. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we'll put the deck back and see what she got. She got her Strive, Pathfinder's Knack, Strive, Forge, and Strive. Okay, well that actually isn't bad at all for her. So we'll leave that there, and then we're going to go on to Col Beorn. What does he got? Well, he has, let's see, he's got a Strive, Forge, and Hack. All right, well, we know what we're going to do here, I'm pretty sure. Now, again, going through the turn order, we need to do the fatigue phase first, but he doesn't have anything attached to his weapon, so he's okay. First thing we'll do is we will burn this Forge card, might as well, right, and get another food. So we'll do that, and that will give Col Beorn 2 food as well, so he'll probably go on the Explorer's Path 2. But before he does that, we're going to attach this Hack to his axe, right? So we're going to basically pop on over, and we'll put this right here next to his axe, giving him a strength of 1. Should he encounter something dangerous. Now let's move. I think that's the right thing to do. We could just stay and buy a stride card and hang out and stockpile food and stuff. It might be worth doing, but I mean, we got to explore the board. That's how we win the game. We got to find the jack. We got to get some more stuff. He doesn't have a good weapon, but he's only got three effort. So let me think. Yeah, I think we're going to move. I think we're going to expend 1 of his food. And we'll move Col Beorn up here. Let's see what's up on this row. It is the Mr. Lionel. Let's check that one out. Okay, it says Mr. Lionel. It's a location and event. Suspend 1 food to discard cards from the dealer's deck until you reveal a shield. You may take that card. Shuffle the discard pile back into the dealer's deck. I think we're going to do that as we're going to encounter this space. You can see that in a 3+ player game it would have 2 cubes, but it's only going to have 1. So this will go back to the board. You can see we can also buy blue trickster cards and 3 regular whatever cards those are, the normal, not Wanderer cards, but I mean, I'll remember the name. I'll get the names of all these things eventually. Oh, yeah, those cards. Anyway, let's do that. We're going to put 1 cube there, and immediately use it because he is going to encounter this space, which means he's going to give up his remaining food, which is right there. That's going to go into his pile, and we're going to draw cards from here until we get a shield. And then we're just going to shuffle them back in. So let's take a look. Not a shield, but it would have been cool. Not a shield. Looks like you've encountered a bunch of items. Not a shield. Wow, stuff galore. Nope. Nope. I'm not gonna spend any time on him. I'm just gonna wait till we grab a shield, okay? And I'll flash him up on the screen. Man, that's too bad. We're gonna be losing a lot of stuff. I think that's a quest. It goes back out of here. Okay, I'm gonna just take those out as I go. It's easier. Shield of the Watcher. Okay, so this is gonna reduce our pain, the pain you lose from each pain card by 1. Increase the strike bonus for your weapon by 1. That's pretty good. This card's ability can only be used if a one-handed weapon is equipped. Well, that's all we have. So we found our item. Now we're just going to shuffle these cards back into the deck. I'll do that in a moment, but let's take a look. This will go in Col Beorn's offhand as his shield. So he's got a shield and a small axe equipped. I'm just going to do a quick shuffle off camera of the big deck so that you don't have to be bored with that. Okay, well, Col Beorn still has 3 effort to spend, so what he's going to do is he's going to spend those 3 effort, and he's going to put a Flourish card, which is just a normal basic card, and that's what the other ones are. These ones here, just the normal basic stuff, and that's the type that we can get out of that. So anyway, we're going to take that, put it in our discard pile. That means all the cards are going to discard pile because that is the end of Col Beorn's turn. I'm going to shuffle up, and we're going to draw a new hand for Col Beorn, and that will be his turn. So we're starting to explore the world a little bit. We're starting to see some things. starting to beef up a little bit so we can take on the Jack of Scales. I mean, he's pretty tough. I don't think it'll be easy. We certainly don't want to do it now. If we do encounter him now, we'll be passing on encountering him and fighting him. And we haven't had a fight yet, which is interesting. Now this is, again, this is the first scenario, the very big basic thing that you're going to do. And the game kind of ratchets up as you go, but let's cut one more time and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and see what we get in our hand. Okay, we got the strive. Wow, that's not great. I mean, we've got a lot of purchasing power, but not a lot we can do. We're probably just going to have to hang back. We won't even be able to get any food, so I'd have to take damage to move. We might force ourselves back to town so that we can actually do some good there. But that is going to be the end of Col Beorn's turn, so we're going to go back to Estella and see what she's up to. She's got some things she can do still. So with Estella, we do have these great cards for her. Now, first thing we have to do, she does have a card attached, so we're going to have to spend one of these in the fatigue phase so that she can keep that hack in play. And that will leave her with a meager 2 effort and 1 forge. So we'll take this forge card and we'll get another food for Estella. We could attach this Pathfinder's Knack, and it wouldn't be such a bad thing to do. So we're going to do that. Let's take a look at her board. We will attach that. Now that means that the sad part about that is next turn she's going to spend 2 of these just to keep those cards in play. And then she's got 2 left, but I think what we're going to do is she's going to continue to explore. So we're going to spend a food and we're going to move her. She is going to continue to forge far away from town. She's going to head out this way and see what we get. I don't know what any of these cards do. This is kind of cool. Abandoned camp. Let's take a look at that. Okay, I'm just going to zoom in just a tad here. We're going to look at the abandoned camp's location. Combat. Fight 2 minions if there are at least 3 players. Fight 3 minions if instead. Okay, well there's not. There's 2 players, so we're going to fight 2 minions. If you defeat all enemies, gain 2 effort and 2 whatever that symbol is. It's your strength thing. So we'll check that out as we go. We're going to do that, and we can also buy trickster cards, soldier cards, and common cards, and there's 2 cubes there to encounter. So we're going to put the card back. We're going to put the 2 cubes there. And I think, yeah, let's encounter that. We haven't done a fight yet, so she's going to encounter that. And let me think about this for a moment, because before I do that, before I commit to that 100%, I want to think about it for just a sec. I think we're in good shape, but I want to be sure. So the other symbol I was looking at is actually token shards. So that's pretty good. We're definitely going to do that. So we're going to continue on. First thing I have to do is draw 2 minions out of this deck. I've shuffled it, but I'm going to give it a quick cut. And we're going to draw her 2 minions. Let's see what she has to battle. Okay, first up, she's got... Oh, that's tough, guys. That's a tough one. 4 of dust. That means that it says if you defeat this minion, gain shards reward twice for one other defeated minion to defeat. He's going to give 2. That's pretty good rewards on this card, but he's tough. He's a strength of 4. I mean, we can barely do that as we stand right now, so we might not be able to defeat both of these. What's the other one? A 2 of skulls. So we're going to fight these 2 guys. This one says when this minion is revealed, take 1 curse card unless you discard 1 card. We're certainly not, unfortunately, going to do that, so we're going to take a curse card. What that means is one of these bad luck cards is going into our discard pile for Estella, and these are the 2 characters that we have to defeat. Now, we do get to do some things, though. As you can see on our mace, we get to draw 2 cards to add to this, so let's see what we get. This is 2 cards out of our deck. We're going to get... that is not good. It does give us the food, but doesn't really help us. And so we're going to have 1 more we're going to get to add to that. Now we do get the food for this, if I understand. I'm going to look it up just to be sure, but I'm pretty sure we do get the food for that. But we have a total of 4, so we're going to take some damage, guys. I can defeat the... yeah, I can defeat the 4 of dust, but I can't defeat the 2 of skulls. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, guys. We are going to... Now we have to assign the damage. So we're going to assign all 4 of this to the 4 of dust to kill him. Okay, so we got him. It says if you defeat the minion, gain the shard reward twice for the other minion. The other minion does give us 1 shard reward, but we haven't defeated it yet. So that doesn't mean that's over. We have defeated him, so what happens next? We have a choice to push or flee. Now, we're going to push. Now, you can push in one of 2 ways. Well, actually, you can take a point of damage or you can expend a food. Well, we had an extra food regardless, so we're going to do that. But we do, however, take a pain card. Now, we would normally... Now, remember, our shield breaker also ignores protection from abilities from enemies, but we don't do that because it didn't have any. Neither of these enemies had any. So what do we get here? We lose 1 food. Okay, that's fine. Now, it does... We don't have any defense, so we're just going to take that pain card. We're going to we're going to get rid of that and get rid of the last remaining food that we had. That's not too terribly bad. Then we're going to a second round of combat. So what we do in the second round of combat is we get to draw 1 more card and bind it to our weapons. So that's good. It's another effort. So we got more than enough to kill the 2 of Skulls. We did, in fact, defeat the enemy. So we defeated the 2 of Skulls. That means these 2 cards will be discarded. I don't know. I got to remember do we get rid of all of them? I'll have to check. Let me check on that as well. I'm going to do the wrap up for the combat, but we did manage to defeat both of these. So we're going to get 4 relic shards. So I'm going to take a 3 and a 1 here just to show you what that looks like. But let me look this up before we move on. Oh, okay. Well, a couple things in order. Let's do this in order. So just to walk through our very first combat. So what we did, so in the first combat we had assigned enough to basically kill this character, right? This guy. So we killed him. That means this would have gone away, but we then drew another one. It says in the combat round after you assign, it says if you push, you choose to fight on by spending 1 food, then resolve 1 pain card for each enemy that remains. That was 1. We did that. If you survive the pain, have at least 1 remaining hit point. We didn't actually take any health damage from that. Draw and bind 1 additional card to your weapon and start a new combat round. But it says back under after we loot, after we went through the combat round, it says discard all defeated enemies and move all assigned cards except for your equipment to your play area. So I guess that means, I wonder how this works. This is a little confusing to me. It says at the end of the combat, you may move to an adjacent encounter. At the end of the combat round or the end of the combat? It's anyway, it looks to me like both of these would have been discarded, leaving me with 1 point, but then we would have drawn another card, which was still giving us enough to kill this guy. I'm going to double check that just to make sure, but I do believe we lose all the cards. And then it says at the combat end, discard any remaining enemies and move any unused cards from your weapon to your play area. Well, we've used them all. You won. If no enemies remain before the combat end step, you are victorious. We did that. And then we're going to resolve all the shards, right? So we got 2 shards for him, and then we would have only gotten 1, but we got an extra 1, so we got a total of 3 for both of these folks, right? And we would have got a total of 4, right? So we got 4. There's 3 and 4 right there. I'm going to put them on our board. We also get 3, 4, 5 victory points, or prestige points, or whatever you want to call them. Then these are going to be discarded, and we defeated our first 2 enemies, but we don't have any more cards attached to our weapon. Uh-oh. Okay, so how that works is Estella is the red player, so she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. She's getting some experience. Oh, wait, sorry, I had it off camera there. Started here, wrapped around to here. Okay, now, I'm going to play Col Beorn's turn, and then we're going to stop. So if I did make any critical errors on this, you'll be able to correct me. But I do want to point out that I have 2 strive left. I don't think I can spend anything on it. There's nothing except for this hidden hand card, which I could spend 1 on. And I'm in an area that I can buy trickster cards. I could buy this because I still had 2 strive cards. Might as well. We'll throw that in our discard pile. That will complete our round, and also give us a big giant discard that we have to deal with. So we're going to be shuffling again this turn. So that is the end of her turn. We're going to draw another card to get out here. The Captain's Pistol. This is a trinket. Looks pretty cool. Actually, I just want to make sure this is an offhand weapon, and this will go in here. Okay, now let's go draw up her next hand. So she's only got 2 cards left, so we know that these are going to be her first 2 of her 5. They're going to be 2 strive cards. I'm going to shuffle up her deck. Hopefully she doesn't get her curse card that's now entered into her hand. And that'll be the end of her turn, though. We're not going to do anything else. We don't have any further encounters to do. But we do know that we can get to that abandoned camp and beat some enemies for some shards. That was pretty good. 4 shards out of that fight. It was a rough fight. We didn't take any damage, though. That's pretty amazing. We just took a food loss. So we're going to have to hang out. Hopefully we get some more food in our next 3 cards. We get a, well, there you go, Forage, Hidden Hand. Okay, the one we don't really care about in Strive. So there's our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Yep. Okay. Not the best hand ever. This is why sometimes culling cards in this game can be very beneficial. But now we're going to go on to Col Beorn. So Col Beorn, he's up there with Mr. Lionel, who we don't have any more ability to interact with. He's got 5 strive, so he doesn't have any food, so he really can't move. I think he's just going to go on the board and buy some stuff, and I think I know what it's going to be. So all the cards, and he can always buy equipment cards, it says so. It looks like we can buy this Claymore of the Wind 4/5. It does a +0 like the other ones, but it says for each Wanderer card bound to this weapon gain an additional +1. That's pretty good. We can also attach 2 items to it. Now the hack's already attached to the Rusty Axe. We get to keep that. We don't have to. Oh, wait. Oh, man, hold on. Hold on. I actually can't buy this card. I'll tell you why. Because I forgot, I got to remember the phase order here. So the very first thing we do is we have to spend fatigue. So that's only actually going to leave us with four of these. So we spend that to keep the hack in play. I'm talking about that card right there. So I think what we'll do then, since we don't have the ability, all the other cards on the table are 5 right now. We're going to buy this hunt card, which will allow us to draw a food and an extra card. We'll put that in our discard. And that will leave us with 1 strive, which we can't do anything with. We'll just discard that, and we'll draw up a new hand. So he didn't really do anything. He didn't move or anything like that. We're going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But I think that was worth getting the shield of the Watcher. So we're going to 2 forges. He's going to have a lot of food. And, oh, he got his flourish. That's good. So that's going to give him 4 strive, 4 effort. Next turn, of course, we're going to spend 1 of it on the hack. Of course, before I ended his turn, I should have drawn around one of these because it could have been a 1, but it's not. It's a camp, which gives us 2 effort, and it says you may spend 2 food to restore 1 health. Oh, that's a really good card. I like that one a lot. And remember, you can always you can get rid of cards too for victory points, and that's something you can do, especially equipment. You can stash things, but we're not going to do that, right? Anyway, I am going to end it there because I want to see, I want to make sure I manage that combat right. I'm also going to go watch a video too, or make sure. It's not that combat's wonky, it's just the first time we've done it. So I want to make sure it's a unique combat encounter method. So I haven't, where you attach the cards. And you have to spend them. So what I wasn't doing was taking them off. I should have spent them as we went. The only thing you don't spend, well, you spend the point off your item, you don't actually spend the item. So good news is that Estella's shield breaker did come in handy and help her quite a bit. Okay, well, I think call it an episode for this one, and we'll get back into it next turn. Again, this is my learning game, so please let me know if I made any critical errors and help me see if I did anything that I could do differently or better next time. I think we did okay there with the combat. I'm sure you'll let me know, and we'll continue on in the next episode. So thanks so much. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes. Please do so with this video and any others, and also help me gain additional subs if you're out there. And by all means, refer me away by liking and sharing. So thanks a bunch, and I will talk to you in the next episode. I hope you're enjoying our playthrough of Hand of Fate Ordeals, and I'll see you next time. Take care.